Welcome to the Icicle Seafoods online hiring event presentation. We're excited to have you here for the opportunity to work with us as a seafood processor for the winter 2021 season. My name is Laura. I'm a recruiter here at Icicle Seafoods, and I'll be taking you through our presentation today. Process with Icicle. Your first step will be to complete an online application. Since you're watching our video today, you've probably already done so. The next step will be to complete an interview. Once we complete our video here, there'll be instructions on how to sign up for an online phone interview with us. After your interview, if we think you'll make a good fit to work with us, we'll submit you for a criminal background check. Once we receive that back, we'll review your application, make sure your experience and your background check look good, and at that point, we'd be ready to offer employment to you. In order to work with Icicle Seafoods, we do require you to have proper ID to work within the United States. This requires you to have a valid state ID that is not expired and a social security card, or a U.S. passport, or a birth certificate combined with your photo ID. A permanent resident card can be combined with a social security card and a state ID as well as a proper form of ID. Unfortunately, if you do not have proper ID, we are unable to hire you for the coming season. With us, we require all of our employees to come to Seattle for I-9 verification and drug testing. Traveling to Seattle will be at your own expense. Due to COVID-19, we no longer are requiring employees to come to our Seattle office, but they will meet us at a hotel location in Seattle, where you'll check in for a quarantine and COVID testing. We ask that you check your email regularly for the following documents. The first would be a conditional job offer. That's once your application has been approved, and that's us showing that we intend to hire you for the season. The next step is your Health Force medical questionnaire. Once your medical questionnaire is cleared, we'd send you your employment agreement or contract, and finally, your onboarding. We also use email as a consistent way of sending out messages, notes about onboarding, and where and when to show up for your onboarding process. So please make sure you have a working email and you check it regularly. With Icicle, we do provide your transportation from Seattle to your work location in Alaska and then back to Seattle at the completion of your contract. If you're hired in Anchorage, we'll also provide transportation back to Anchorage for you. If you do not successfully complete your contract with us, meaning you quit or you're fired during the season, you will be responsible for providing your own transportation back home at that time. Our regular rate of pay for the 2021 season is $12.36 per hour for processors. Regular pay applies to the first 8 hours worked in every day. When working in Alaska, overtime kicks in after 8 hours worked in the day, and then also after 40 hours worked in a work week. It's a little bit more opportunity to make overtime when working in Alaska. Icicle does have a room and board charge. This is a $20 per day charge for all of your room and board expenses. Upon completion of your contract, you will be reimbursed 50% of the total you paid in room and board. You are not charged that $20 per day if you're working less than 8 hours in the day. Payday happens every 2 weeks. You can either have a paper check mailed to you directly at your location, or you can set up direct deposit when doing your onboarding paperwork. We do recommend that you set up direct deposit or open a bank account before coming for the season so that you can have direct deposit. Because of COVID-19, our sites are quarantine sites and you would be unable to go to the bank if you're in town to deposit that check. So direct deposit would ensure that that check that you receive is going straight into your bank account and you don't have to hold on to it for the season. Life and the environment that you're surrounded in when working as a seafood processor. It's bloody and it's smelly. We're taking in a whole seafood product and parsing up that product into fillet or some form of marketable product, and you'll be working in the factory to produce that marketable product. That might mean that you're pulling the guts out of a codfish like you see on the left-hand side here, or maybe you're cutting blood lines or cutting off heads of fish and getting them ready for fillet. You could be like this gal here on the left, sorting through byproducts and sending things out to be minced for discharge, or maybe they're going in to make fish meal or fish oil. All of these processes, you're going to see blood, guts, slime, and it will be smelly. So be prepared for that when signing up for this job. About the work-life environment that you might see is it's repetitive and crowded. You can see on this first run where Roy was in that yellow jacket, he's picking up this pollock fish and he's putting it into the conveyor belt. That's moving quickly and going constantly. It's repetitive, that back and forth movement. You can see on the right-hand side kind of something similar where people are getting those fillets ready and they're working on each individual piece. It's also crowded. You're shoulder to shoulder next to someone next to you and working on that same task for that shift as long as that lasts. Due to COVID, we have added protections for all of our employees, meaning that you'll be separated a little bit further than you see in these photos, and also with protections to keep you safe in your work environment. The conditions of working as a seafood processor is it's wet and it's cold. You're working in a factory. We use water to push fish through the factory, to clean everything, to sanitize. It's also cold. We keep our factories at a chilled level to make sure that our products are fresh. Also, these fish are coming out previously frozen off of our fishing vessels, or they're coming out of the freezer. You could be working in a freezer on the vessel as well. So be prepared to be wet and cold. Bring lots of warm clothes to wear under your rain gear. It's also a physical job. The nature of being on your feet for 16 hours a day can take a toll on your body. Doing repetitive work, lifting up to 50 pounds at a time in front of you can be difficult. So be prepared to be wet, cold, and be working hard throughout the entirety of your time with us. A bit more about conditions and your living environment. You will be living with roommates and you will be sharing your living quarters. You can see it can be pretty tight in these corridors on the vessels, and the rooms are quite small as well. So you want to be mindful about the space that you're sharing with other people. Each bed does usually have a privacy curtain where you can put that down, and if you're sleeping during the day or at night, depending on your shift. Everybody will have a drawer or a locker where you can put your personal items and store things away. Please note if you're packing in a big duffel bag, maybe bring something that can collapse down versus the hard-bodied suitcases. This will allow for a little bit more space for you and your roommates to use throughout the season in your rooms. We serve all of our meals in the galley on the vessel. 3 hot meals are served a day. Usually it's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sometimes they switch the schedule and make a midnight meal, depending on how the shifts work. They want to make sure that each person is up for 3 meals a day and can access all of those. The galley closes for cleaning for usually 2 hours a day, but it is open as a place where you can go and socialize, read, watch TV, play games if you're off shift and not ready to be sleeping. There's always hot water, coffee, tea, and juice available, and usually sandwiches to make a snack. They're just closed for those couple hours a day for cleaning, but otherwise that is a space where you can spend time outside of your room while not on shift. Work-life conditions. Processors can work up to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Breaks happen every 3 to 4 hours and alternate between a 10-minute paid break and 30-minute unpaid meal breaks. Although processors can work up to 16 hours a day, you do need to be prepared for downtime. There's no guarantee of hours or how many hours you will get during a season. Hours completely depend on the amount of fish we have to process, and there's no way to predict how much fish we will have. If there's no fish, there's no work, and there's no money. So although do be prepared to work long days and hard work days, but also be prepared for downtime, thinking about what you might do if you have a few extra hours in your day. Winter A season 2021, both of our processing locations are going to be in the Dutch Harbor area or the Western Aleutian chain. Processing vessel Gordon Jensen will be processing just outside of Dutch Harbor, and the Northern Victor is permanently moored inside Dutch Harbor. You can see here what they both look like. The Gordon Jensen on the left, that's a little bit longer than a football field, and then here's the Northern Victor coming into their permanently moored dock in Dutch Harbor. A little bit more information. Mail and phone connection can be sporadic depending on the location that you're working at. You may have phone connection at some points, but it may go out depending on where the vessel is or how bad the weather is. So do be prepared to be patient with that. There is Wi-Fi available on the vessel, so if you have a device that can be hooked up and you can use WhatsApp for calling, that might be a bit more reliable. We do offer weekly laundry service to all of our employees. It's required that you do your laundry weekly, and our laundry staff will take care of that. We provide your bedding, your pillows, and any work gear that's required to do your job, all of your rain gear and your boots. You'll just want to pack everything you want to wear underneath your rain gear and also anything that you think you might need throughout the season. Your laundry is done specified by day, so depending on which room you're in, you'll have a certain day where you drop off your laundry. If you're assigned to a vessel, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to leave the vessel during the season. Only medical emergencies would allow someone to leave the vessel during the season. Due to COVID and being quarantine work sites, it also makes it much more difficult to leave the vessel. Do plan to bring everything you might need with you for the season. You can purchase small items on the store on site, like candy, cigarettes, and toiletries and phone cards. But if there's anything you know you'll need, do plan to bring it. There's a possibility that you may be transferred during the season to another location. If there's an opportunity for transfer, the office will make sure to post it or let employees know, and you can willfully sign up for that transfer if you're interested at the time. Icicle Seafoods is a drug and alcohol-free company, and this is a zero-tolerance policy. We do pre-employment drug testing for all employees, monthly and random drug testing, and also drug testing for cause and post-accident drug testing will also be conducted. Luggage and rooms will be searched before the season begins. Failure or refusal of a drug test will result in termination. Icicle Seafoods also has an anti-harassment policy that is also a zero-tolerance policy. Any form of harassment by our employees will not be tolerated. If you see someone being harassed or you're experiencing harassment yourself, please talk to the office staff, your HR representative on site, or one of your supervisors so that they can handle it appropriately. If you quit or are fired during this season, you will be responsible for your transportation from Anchorage back to Seattle or wherever your city of origin may be. If you quit during the season, you will not be eligible for rehire at any Icicle Seafoods location at any time in the future. Icicle Seafoods offers a referral bonus program to our employees. With each successful referral, the employee can receive a bonus of $500 with the condition that your referral and you both complete your contract. If you and your referral return for a second consecutive season together, you each could receive another $250 bonus for returning for another season. New hires can refer up to 4 friends, earning an extra $2,000 at the end of the year. Returning employees have no cap on the number of referrals that they can be credited for. In order to qualify for a referral bonus, make sure that your referral puts your name on their application on how they heard about the job. We love to have friends of our employees, and they end up being a lot of our best employees, so make sure to refer any friends that you think would be great at this job and that you would like to work with. We'd love to hear from them as well. Thank you for attending Icicle Seafoods hiring presentation for the winter season 2021. We're excited to hear from you after watching our presentation today, and we hope that you'll want to sign up for an interview with us. In order to sign up for an interview, please go to the link below and sign up for an interview at a time that works for you. If you have trouble signing up for an interview using that link, please call us or send us an email. We look forward to hearing from you.